Welcome to Money Patterns Decoded. Money is never just about money. It is a pattern. Today we expose one of those hidden patterns, see exactly how it controls your finances, and discover the precise shift that can set you free. Let's begin. Here's a simple observation. The tiny, almost invisible contractions you make about money, the small compromises, the quiet bargaining with yourself, cost far more than any budget line. Not in one bill, but in how they compound your identity, choices, and future income over years. 1,000 tiny not enoughs is a tax you pay to your own fear. I call this pattern the anchor of smallness. In the next 7 minutes you'll get 3 things. A clear name for the pattern, the psychological and esoteric mechanism that holds it, and one precise daily shift, a 5-minute ritual that begins to loosen the anchor. No fluff, practical and repeatable. Let's map the psychological side first. Most of us inherit scarcity scripts, sentences we never chose. We can't afford that becomes we don't deserve that. Childhood moments of shortage get compressed into an internal rule. Less equals safe. That rule rewires decision making. When you believe less is safer, you bargain with opportunity. You underprice, you delay investments, you say no to expansion because your nervous system has learned protection, not growth. This ties directly to identity with confusion. You start equating how much you have with who you are. So when money moves toward a new level, the interior structure resists, not because the numbers are wrong, but because your identity cannot hold the possibility. Fear-based decisions follow. You cut prices, you say yes to the wrong clients, or you hoard cash until opportunity passes. The math here is brutal. Behavior compounds into structural loss. Now the esoteric mechanism. In many traditions, the same dynamic shows up as form, closed geometric patterns that trap energy, picture a tight knot. In sacred geometry, a closed form denies flow. Energy that could circulate and multiply gets held back, folded inward. The anchor of smallness is a closed loop in your inner geometry, a node that insists on contraction and therefore reduces the life force that can translate into money. If you study Rosicrucian inner alchemy and basic numerology, you see related patterns. The 0-1 knot, 0 as emptiness, 1 as identity, can be twisted into a rigid binary. Either I have nothing, or I must hide what I have. That knot locks energetic flow. The result is predictable. Opportunities arrive, but the system is configured to reject expansion, because expansion would change the inner form. The form protects itself by staying small. Here's the reframe. A metaphor to remember. A closed fist versus an open geometric star. A fist holds, it feels safe, but nothing new gets inside. An open star receives and radiates. It lets energy in and reconfigures it into something greater. Your money identity acts like the fist when you're anchored to smallness. This shift is not moralizing, it is architectural. Open the interior form so flow can move through you. The practical cue to use when a money decision feels small is this. Will this make my form narrower or more able to hold more? Say it aloud, then breathe. Now the daily, high-impact shift I call the 1% anchor ritual. It takes 5 minutes, and it changes behavior and identity together. Step 1. Choose a micro-allocation, 1% of an income line, or a fixed small amount you can repeat daily. Step 2. Physically place a token or coin in a dedicated jar or dish when you make the allocation. The physical act signals the system that you can hold more. Step 3. Write one line in a ledger. No analysis. One sentence. Example, I allocate 1% to growth. I am learning to hold more. That sentence rewires the identity node. Step 4. 3 slow breaths. Imagining the coin as a seed that expands your interior geometry. Implement it this way. Do it at the same time each day. Morning receipts, lunch pause, or evening review. Track it simply. A check mark on a calendar. Try 7 days. This isn't a promise of instant wealth. It is conditioning. Repetition changes neural pathways, and the small repeated proof that you can allocate and hold begins to repattern your identity. If this triggers deep pain around past loss, pause the practice and work with a professional. This is conditioning, not therapy. A quick recap. The anchor of smallness is a contracted internal node that protects by making you small. Psychologically, it comes from scarcity scripts and identity confusion. Esoterically, it's a closed form that blocks flow. The practical cure is structural. Open the form with a daily microallocation, a physical token, a one-line ledger reframe, and breath. One small, consistent action changes how your system holds possibility. One shift changes your financial destiny. If you want the deeper architecture, the chapter that unpacks this ritual, and the ritual primers to build other anchors, start with chapter 4 in my library. Visit Desmarques.com to explore the full collection. Ritual primers, structural exercises, and detailed maps of inner geometry. Test the 1% anchor for 7 days, track the behavior change, and report what shifts. Awareness first. Action second. That is the money pattern. That is the mechanism. And that is your shift today. If you're ready to decode the full architecture of your financial life, explore my complete library at dondesmarques.com. Money is a pattern. Awareness is the key.